back, students, to our reading class. I do hope you are keeping your parents entertained with your stories. Coming back to our book. In our last class, we completed discussing the book till the chapter titled Children. We saw that although both Ivan and Stella are not really Ruby's biological parents, yet they have become very caring and protective about her, just like your parents are about you. In this class, we will be discussing the next four chapters. The next chapter is titled The Parking Lot, and here we find that Mark was right. Thanks to the addition of little Ruby's picture on the billboard sign, the circus business suddenly picked up, and lots of visitors crowded around Ruby's and Stella's domain, oohing and eyeing at the sight of such a tiny elephant. She looks cute, no? Well, children, isn't it ironic that these visitors who came holding the hand of their little kids enjoyed seeing little Ruby caged and separated from her parents? Think about it. I guess we humans can sometimes become very selfish and thoughtless. Anyway, seeing all the attention that Ruby is suddenly hogging, Ivan quite obviously feels left out. Remember, for a long time, Ivan used to get all this attention, particularly when he was a cute little baby. So Ivan now wishes he could be cute again. He wonders if Mac could add a little hat and a curly tail to his picture too. Ivan says, I could use a little oohs and ahs myself. Feeling left out. Do you think, children, that Ivan will become jealous of Ruby? No, he does not. We come to the next chapter titled Ruby's Story. We find that talkative Ruby goes to Ivan for more and more of those entertaining elephant jokes because her Aunt Stella is sleeping. But Ivan can't remember any new jokes. So, what does Stella do? No, children, this time she doesn't bombard Ivan with her incessant questions. Instead, just like Stella, Ruby dons the role of a good storyteller for Ivan and Bob. Ruby this time narrates a real story about herself and humans. It is the story of how Ruby lost her family, fell into a ditch, and how, ultimately, humans saved her, fed her, and searched for her family for an entire day, and finally reunited her with her family. Ah, cynical Bob, who is so very distrustful of all humans, just can't believe that humans could have saved her. But Ruby assures Bob that there are good humans too. Very Stella agrees with Ruby and tells Bob that she too has heard stories where humans have rescued animals. She clarifies to Bob that humans are actually very unpredictable species. At times, humans may surprise you with their acts of kindness. Our Bob remains totally unconvinced, and then he asks the real hard-hitting question. If humans are really so swell, how is Ruby in the circus? That's when our Ruby answers, bad humans killed my family, and bad humans sent me here. But that day, those humans who saved her were good. Bob just gives up and says he just cannot understand humans. Ivan adds that neither can he understand humans. Children, can you understand humans? Do you think that Bob is right? Are humans always bad? I agree with Ruby that there are bad or cruel animals as well as good and kind animals. There are hunters and poachers who kill animals as a sport only for their entertainment. At the same time, there are so many animal lovers who look after stray dogs and wild animals. In this story, too, we meet both greedy Mac, who's self centered, as well as kind Julia. So, children, what kind of a human do you want to be? And that is something that you need to decide. I cannot decide for you. We come to the next chapter titled The Hit. Here we find that Stella's foot gets worse. Even though she's too hurt to do the tricks for the afternoon show, self-centered Mac forces the limping Stella to perform for the 2 o'clock show. By evening, she can barely walk. So Mac brings Ruby into the ring. Little Cutie Pie Ruby is a stomping hit. The humans stop eating their popcorns and coo and clap. And here we find children that the old hits of the circus, Ivan and Stella, are clearly forgotten. That's there with all of us humans. Our memory is very short. Ivan doesn't know whether he should feel sad at being forgotten or he should feel happy for Ruby. Our next chapter is titled Worry. After the show, Julia brings some coloring materials, including magic markers. But our Ivan, who loves drawing, doesn't get excited. You know why? Because he is really worried about Stella's worsening health to draw anything at all. Stella, we see, has been quiet and not eaten anything. She was lying listless on a pile of hay, and she was breathing with great difficulty. You can see Stella on the screen here. She looks really ill. Seeing Stella in this condition, kind-hearted Julia urges her dad to call Mac and get help. But what does Max say? Max says he's going to wait for the entire night and the vet will come in the morning only if Stella remains unwell till morning. So like Ivan, Julia too is very worried. She spends the evening by Stella's side. She doesn't do her homework, nor does she draw that evening. Children, I am also very concerned about Stella now. She really does not look too well. Will Stella recover after the vet sees her? How will Stella be in the morning? Please read the story further to find out. Don't wait for me to summarize. It's time for me to wind up.